stuff back there. I'd like to get out. Oh, look at that one. Ooh, that's a big one. That's up behind the wire loom. Perfect. Hello everybody, Nathan Marcy here. Welcome back to the channel. Greatly appreciate you returning. If you're a first-time viewer, check out my introduction video. But today I'm going to show you how to do a wheel well arch cleaning on the front end of your car. Specifically, I'm going to be showing you how to do a 2013 Mustang. This will apply to the GT, the V6, the 4 cylinders if there was any. I don't think there was at the time, but Boss 302, GT 500 I'm sure is exactly the same, and it'll be 13 and 2013, 2014. I want to believe that the 11s and 12s are very similar. Anything before that, even though they're the same generation, 05 through 09 I think it was, I don't know if they're the same or not. Maybe somebody else can speak to that. I'm sure they're probably just as easy to get off though. If you just take a look, see what I do, you'll see there's probably a bunch of plastic clips that kind of hold it in. I'm sure it's just as easy to pull out though. But also, if you're here for just some general cleaning, please feel free to try to do this on your own on any of your vehicles. You got a Subaru Forester? Do you have a 94 F-150? Do you have a Ford Focus or a Ford Escape or a Chevy Tahoe? I don't care what you have. If you want to do it, please just follow along with this. It may not be specifically for your vehicle, but it'll give you some ideas and some tips and tricks of what might be able to help you. Because at the end of the day, the wheel well arches all see tires, they all see grease, they all see grime, and they all share suspension components at the end of the day. They're all normally going to be pretty similar whenever it comes to what components are in there. ABS sensors, you still got your brake rotors, you still got your brake calipers, still got struts or coil springs. You still have suspension parks, you have lower A-arms, ball joints, you still have plastic inner liners. At the end of the day, they're still the same thing. So I please encourage you that's what this channel is all about. I want to get people around to do things on their own. I feel like that I want to try to do that, try to provide you with a little bit of information on how to get there. Follow along. I think you'll find if you have something completely different than a Mustang, you might find that the inner fender well plastics still come out similar. So follow along, and here we go. All right, so what we got here is I have splash guards on mine. You may have them, you may not. Does not matter. These push pins are still going to be in the plastic, even if you don't have them. They're there regardless. You pull them out to put these on. So all you're going to do is just pull out, get yourself a flathead screwdriver as you see me here with, and a needle nose pliers. Get them pried out. Mine are pretty easy because I just put them on. Once you get it out far enough, get your needle nose back in there. Kind of give it a little bit of a tug. Don't be too hard on them, and they should just pop right on out here. As you can see, I struggle a little bit, and little wiggle, and there it is. Now these are the splash guards, so they kind of slide off because they got C channels that hold them in place. Now this is a quarter screw, so you'll just Phillips screwdriver, kind of get a little bit in there, and they pop right out. Same, this is over above, there's 2 of them, just real light. You see they kind of pop out, quarter turns, fall down. Same with the other side. And you'll just grab right a hold of them and just give them a little wiggle. They'll pull right on out. Sometimes the centers might pop out. Don't worry about it, they'll pop right back in. And this one's down, facing directly at you if you're looking in the wheel well. Another quarter turn, real light pressure. As you can see, I actually kind of slip off because I'm trying to be easy with it. Pull on it, pops right out. Now you'll wiggle on this here, as you see. It kind of falls down out of the top. You will kind of have to kind of pull on the back side. You'll see me reach down towards the A-arm there. It kind of gets stuck, so you'll kind of have to pull out, and there it is. It pops right out. Come right down out of the plastic. Watch what you're doing. Watch all your lines, and set it off to the side. On the front, you got 2 7mm hex head screws. Go ahead, take those out. They're down by the splitter at the bottom. In my case, there's that one, and then there's that one. understand their plastics lags, so they may be stripped out, they may not, so just be careful. Underneath here is a Phillips. Directly underneath of where you've seen those, right about where my wrist is where we just took those 7mm. So this bolt here, I realized once I got it out and I got that plastic piece out, it was pretty short, so it kind of fell out a little bit, then it just kind of spun. Just give it a little bit of pressure down, it'll come right on out. Here's another 7mm. This is up underneath. You can see the hole just above my pointer finger there where we just pulled that screw from. This is another 7mm. This holds the plastic underneath to the inner fender well. As you can see on the right side, there's kind of little tabs there where it kind of slides into place and holds it and directs it. And these two pop tabs here, these are another quarter turns. This is going to be on the front. Facing the front, one on towards the top. This is the top one here. Quarter turn, pops right out. Same on the bottom. Sorry for the bad focus. Quarter turn, wiggle, pops right out. And then this one is, you'll see it, it's going to be facing right at you towards the front. Another quarter turn. Boop, pops right out. Look at all that stuff fall out. Alright, so you have to wiggle the top there a little bit. It might be up in the groove there a little bit. As soon as you get it popped through, kind of pops right off, pops out of the back. Set it off to the side and you're good to go. Alright, now that the fender wells are out and you've seen that part of it, I want to show you the inside of here. We're going to detail this, clean it all out, try to do a little bit of protection. You can see all the rocks and grime and years of use. It's a low mile car. That does not mean it was not driven outside. So let's see here. I got my headlamp on here. So you can see it up there. Gravel down in there. Go over here. Dirt and all that. Stabilizer bar. Get in back there. That's all still good shape, but just needs cleaned. So that's what we're gonna do here today. Let me set you down, get you set up. We're gonna go ahead and start off with a vacuum. I wanna get all these rocks out, as much of the junk out as possible. So I got my shop vac here. Apologize if you hear any kind of, you'll probably hear mostly the suction of it. The vacuum is actually in the attic. So, turn this on. Alright, so I was just using a pick. It's actually broke off here. Hopefully you can see it. It's just a cheap pick. It's been broke off and I kind of dulled the edge so I can kind of get into places like this and not completely gouge stuff like a normal pick would do. So vacuumed that all up. I did take a whole lot of it out, so we'll see what we can do. I got my steamer here. Same steamer as I used in the last video. McCulloch MC1375. It's been sitting here for a little while, so you always want to get the first stream. What it is the steam's in the hose. So whenever you hit the trigger, it's water because it's cooled off. It's not sitting in the tank, so it's got to clear the hose out before the steam gets out. So always the first pull is a little bit, 4 or 5 seconds of water. So always clear that out, and we will use this. Get this cleaned out here for the most part, and then try to soften up some of the stuff that didn't come out. So. Only problem with using steam in a confined space, you can't see what's going on after a few seconds, but. Alright, so hopefully it softens some of it up. It's got some old microfiber towels that used to be coating towels. I've coated a few cars, so I actually degrade these just to shop towels basically, and just wash them with normal cotton towels. But in here, you're not gonna really matter so much. Everything's gonna be scratched in here at this point, so just use some old junk towels to get in here, clean this mess up. Some people might even use paper towels. I'm gonna try to be a little easier than that. We'll shake this up. Always shake your chemicals. Give these a little bit of, give all this a little bit of spray down here. All right. You don't have to agitate too much. A lot of it's wiped off by hand. So you can already see the tars coming off here. So, you know what? Let me grab my brush. Stuff's not as soft as I thought it would be, so spray a little bit all-purpose detail factory boar's hair brush. Get in here, lather all this mess up here. We're not going to get it squeaky clean, but it's always good to get in here and clean everything up. You leaving this stuff, this is what creates rust in the first place, is just never actually doing anything with any of these areas. So. Always watch your sensors, don't yank on things. Something nice about doing something like this is you can check over things, brake lines, check sensors, make sure things are okay. There's nothing that's obviously bad. If you can prevent it, that's always a good thing. That's why they call it preventative maintenance. So. Right now I'm just concentrating on this area here, just the inner wheel well part. I'll worry about the suspension. We'll hit that at the next step here. So, yeah. All right, good there. Steamer. I'm kind of getting my brush cleaned out here a little bit. Got a lot of it blown out, so we'll try this again. Microfiber towel. Wipe everything down. Yeah, that works there. I broke everything up pretty good. There's still gonna be some tar deposits and stuff. If you feel anything gritty get in your towel, try to grab it. I mean, there's gonna be grit regardless, but that was really hard. And you can normally pick it up. You'll know as soon as you pick it up. Remember, a lot of this is hidden back behind the actual plastic fender wells you guys see me remove there step by step. So, you know, we're not looking for perfection here, but we are looking to try to get as much cleaned up, especially right here where you do see, right from here, you'll see all through here, back into the back, a little bit right here. So, I'm gonna get that cleaned up as much as you can. Those are the exposed areas. That's what seals all the harshness there. So. Just cheap checking your towel every once in a while. If there's anything in it, just give it a little bit of a brush out. back in the wheel well here again. I don't know if you can see the difference. Starts to be hard to see where the actual thing used to be, where this was as clear, black, clearly. So, you know, there's still a little bit here I'll have to get. You know, there's gonna be touch-up stuff, but do the best you can. So, all right. So now we'll move on to trying to clean that up. That's all mud and stuff. We'll clean all this up. We'll get these back to looking factory fresh. All right. Let me bring you in here a little bit and see if I can get you a little bit closer to what I'm doing here. Let's start off with this A-arm here. Same thing here. A little bit of Meguiars APC. Let that soak a little bit there. Come over here. Same thing. Something I am gonna do. I'm gonna grab a little flathead screwdriver. I'm gonna get in here, try to pick some of this stuff out of here. These are all rocks and whatnot, tar from the roads. You know, you drive through tar and chip or fresh asphalt. Well, that's where this stuff lays, and then it collects dust and rocks. And you want to try to get as much as you can. It fills up in this corner here. Might take a little bit of aggression, but just try not to chip a bunch of paint off. That's the big thing. We'll preserve as much of that as possible. All right. Now you can see here. Not quite as many rocks now. A light right here. I picked them all out of here. Right there. All out of the back of here. All across the top of here. There's still some there, but I'll get those picked up with a towel here. Try to get that one broke loose. There we go. All right. Go ahead. Steamer to try to blow some of this out that I broke up. Now take a look at it. That's what the steamer does right there. You can see just from whenever I just showed you, there's a lot less stuff there now. Blew some more dirt out of in there. Some more around that bolt there. So, all right, we'll go ahead and wipe this out best we can. And you can still hear there's rocks. But it's all a part of it. You want nice things, you gotta take care of them. Whoever owned this before me wanted nice things and traded in every year, apparently. They didn't want to deal with it. here. There's still rocks. Let's get our screwdriver again. Try to get up in there. Not major chunks in there now. Get all this wiped off here. Good. Check your towel. For this stuff, it doesn't really matter, but give it a fold over on a nice dry side. Because what you'll have is smear marks everywhere on your black. I'm trying to avoid that here, so. Hold the camera still here a little bit. A little bit tight working with the camera, but we'll get it. There's some smear marks back there, a little bit of wet still. You want to get a nice clean surface. That's why I keep flipping my towel here for this. As you can see, this looked like it was pretty bad. Looked like it was in rough shape, but at the end of the day, it looks pretty good. Still black, still got a lot of the marks from the factory. You can see here. Blue mark there, one over here, blue mark there. Still see the engraving of the part number. Unusual to see, but that's what happens when you buy a low mile, clean car. It hasn't seen New York State for all of its life. Somebody didn't decide to drive in winter all the time, at least most of the time. All right. I'm gonna call that good there. It's not perfect, but it never will be. It's underneath. No one's really gonna see it. Just wanna get it cleaned up as much as possible. All right. Let's move on over to the other side here. Let me back you up so I can get in here with the steamer. We're going here now. Bring you in here. See, stabilizer bar, strut there. We'll get that cleaned up. We'll do a little bit of a wipe down in here the best we can. The plastics, the back side here. Do the dust shield, and we'll go from there. All right, you got the wheel turned. I got it a little bit better position for you. So get in here. Close all this down, back behind on the dust shield for brakes. Excuse me. Wipe all this down once. I'll let it soak here. There's a lot of grease. This looks brown, and it's because it's grease. There's no rust there. I mean, these dust shields, I don't see a spot of rust on them. We're gonna try to get every nook and cranny we can here. On the back side here, wipe all this down here. Not gonna be perfect, but we are gonna get it, make it look good. Wow, there's still even the white chalk mark from the factory, white paint mark there from the factory for inspection. Man, blue mark here for the factory still. Blue marks on the A-arm still. So they're assembling it. You want to try to preserve that stuff as much as you can, and when you clean all this stuff up, and you try to not be as aggressive as possible, keep a lot of those things. It keeps the originality of the car. Something that makes me happy when I see things like that. I know I got a car that hasn't been completely destroyed. I got a Subaru out there. It's got like 5,000 miles on it. And I guarantee you every mark's missing by this point, because it sees hours and hours on the road. So it's always nice to have a car like this. Look how nice and blue those struts are. Always looking good. Like I said, just a old microfiber here. And small purpose cleaner steamer. That's pretty much all I'm doing this with here. Just get this grease off here as much as we can. Old brake dust caked on. Got our own ball joint tie rod end here. ABS wheel's pretty gunked up. Get that cleaned up good. Just need to spin your wheel here. Can't spin the wheel by hand, so we'll leave that be. Not too bad right now. I can't spin this. Doesn't even make any sense. I might be able to spin this. Yeah, probably just a brake caliper. The pad's actually sticking to it because it's been wet and dry, and so. Last video, I haven't put this back together at all. I haven't touched the thing until now. I'll do it in a day or two since I recorded that. So, all right, that's the end of that towel. We'll grab another one. Keep going. What I'm doing is cleaning the shock boot cover. Keeps dust out of the shock, saves the seal on the shock, tries to help keep dirt, garbage out of there. Wipe all this out. See a little bit of stuff in there. It's really tight, so just get in there. As much as you can out is what it is. You can get it all, you'll be okay. At the end of the world. All right, dry one back here. Wipe all this off. Now introduce steam again. Wipe all that dry. Won't look perfect, but it'll look way better than it did. That's for sure. You got a few rocks right there when you get picked out. I think this is actually salt. There we go. I want to get that blown out. Looks like there might be a few more rocks up in there. Try to get as many of those picked out as possible. This is basically a drain hole. Plug drain hole means water lays on the top, start eating away at stuff. Other things can't get out, and that's no good. Yep. Pushed up a bunch of rocks out of there. All that mopped up. There we go. Hit that again. We'll blow up here. And we'll try to blow down through too here. So let's see if we can get it angled. There we go. That's better. I feel a little better about that now. Re-dry again. It's all a part of it. You miss it, just re-dry it. Clean it, re-dry it, move on. Try to get in there, clean that off. Get this going. All right. As you can see, it's a lot more blue than when we started. That's for sure. Get a bunch of the grease and grime off, rocks out of holes. So things can drain properly. Wipe this back off. And now I'm going to go ahead and move the steering wheel back to all the way the opposite direction so we can do the other side. All right, now I got the wheel turned the opposite direction here. Got you positioned so you can see what's going on. Again, start with some steam. Everything, it's okay. We're not worried about that. We can always do a wipe down when we're done. Because I couldn't see all this, I gotta try to hit it again. So. It's the little things. It's the little things that make a difference in life. This is my junk towel, just to get the heavy garbage off there. Come back in, hit with a dry one here. Second towel. Wipe all this off, get down on there. Real good. This side wasn't so bad. By the time you get the other side done, you've blown enough steam and junk around that it's kind of loosened it up and kind of melted it away. So I don't feel I need to put a whole bunch of all-purpose cleaner all over everything again. So that's all wiped out. Get my head stuff down in there. Look again, dry this up. Behind the caliper here. Spindle, bolts all look good. All right, now we're pretty well coming into the home stretch here. With this part of it, let's just do another quick wipe down of everything here now that it's mostly dry. Maybe it would actually make the way it look like it has such bad white marks now that it's somewhat dry. In there. Always satisfying whenever you can make things turn from a dirt color to the actual color it should be. That's the satisfaction for me of doing this. And it helps save the car. Oh, look at that. Another drain hole with a rock. Yep. Screwdriver. Same thing. Let's get that cleared out there. There we go. Oh, I see some more limestone or salt rock. So let's try to get that dug out of there. There we go. Like I said, you want to get these all cleared out. This is how this thing drains. Otherwise, this gets plugged up with rocks here. Make sure you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Just adjust you here. So let me just bring you up here. So the spot I'm talking about is right there. This fills up with rocks and doesn't allow things up here to drain out here. There's one on each side, so you just want to make sure you get that stuff cleaned out. It makes a difference trying to hold up rot, especially if you live in an area that you're driving through salt and whatnot. So, all right, keep going here. Wrong towel. A good wipe there. This is all still wet, but looking much more blue than it did when we started. All the black hoses and wiring cover and hose cover, all starting to look black again. Looking good here. There's another rock stuck in. There's some stuff back there I'd like to get out. Oh, look at that one. Ooh, that's a big one. That's up behind the wire loom. Perfect. And we'll just give that a little bit of a tug there, just to kind of let the loose stuff fall out. And the rest of it we'll just have to let be. Nothing more you can really do with it. Once it gets in there and stays for a while, you're never going to completely get it out. All you can do is try to get the most of it out, the bulk. So, all right. It's looking good. All right. I would call that a success. Let's wipe the top of this Maybe one day I'll take the rotors off and get behind here on this dust shield, but now I'll just catch the lip and call it a day. That'll look good. You'll see that from behind. You'll see that in the front. So, all right. Now, let me bring you in here. I'm sure this looks a lot better than it did. I'm sure you can see it. Nice and blue. Ford pieces there. Over to the other side. Open the strut tower there. Stabilizer bar is black, if no one knew. It was dust before. Now you can see all the Ford original markings. One there, one back there, one right there. So that's how you know you're getting it clean. You start seeing those original marks if they're still there. Everything's starting to look black again. Yes, nothing's perfect back in there, but you only reach so far. How much time do you want to spend is totally up to you. Hoses are mostly black again. All looking good. Let me get that hose there quick. Grab this towel. All the conduits looking good. Just dry that off there. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. Nice black hose. Conduits all looking good. The ABS sensor's looking pretty fresh again. One spot there. It's always the little details. Always little details. Come up through here. Just wipe back there best you can, even though you don't see it. Always good to wipe that off. Over here, dry off this hose for the brakes. You know, my stickers are still on my lines there, so you know we want to preserve all this stuff as much as we can. ABS sensor wires wiped off now. Bracket. A few more rocks in here. I'll try to get out. I'll just try to poke those in the meantime. But as you can see, it looks quite a bit better in here. Springs are black. No rocks, garbage completely laying down there. Little pebbles left, but there ain't much I can do there. But yeah, this is where we're at. Much better. Much, much, much better. So now what I'll do is I will take you over to the bench and show you how to clean and restore the inner fender wells before we put them back in. We're gonna get them, you'll see once we get over there what kind of color they are and that they're kind of faded and beat up. So I will show you how to restore those, so hang tight.